Welcome to Floating Leaf Tea Podcast. I'm Shiuwen in Seattle.
And I'm Noah, and I am still in Taiwan.
That's good. It's a good steal.
Good still.
Yeah, good steal. But currently Taiwan is locking down, right?
Yeah. I thought maybe we can start drinking the tea and then talk about that a little bit later.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, that's true. I'm in lockdown right now.
Okay, let's drink the tea then. So, what are we drinking tonight?
Lala Shan Hong Shui.
Lala Shan Hong Shui. Maybe you should find a lot of Hong Shuis because when I record podcasts, I do it. Right now, it's currently 8:30 p.m. Normally, after the recording, a little bit not sure if I could fall asleep that night. Hopefully, Hong Shui will be a little bit better for my sleeping problem. Yeah.
It doesn't keep you up. I actually drank this tea last night around 7 or 8.
Uh-huh.
It's also my bedtime tea.
Oh,
my sleepy time tea.
But you also drink what is that, shou pu'er though?
Yeah, I didn't do that last night.
Yeah, I don't think I can do a shou pu'er for the sleeping time tea. Shou pu'er sleepy time.
You should try. It works for me pretty well.
Oh, cool.
Do you remember when we were at the tea festival in Portland and and I don't even know if we're supposed to say his name or not, but that child that was helping us. Remember? And he kept telling people that GABA is like sleepy time tea. It's going to put you right to sleep. He's like a snake oil salesman. Like he knew exactly what to tell people when they're walking up to buy tea. I thought that was really funny.
I wonder how he knew that.
I think he heard me saying something about it's relaxing, and then he just went with it. He's like 13 or 14 at the time, so he was like really ready to just tell people some stuff and sell some tea. That was really funny. He's really good.
I will hire him again if
he's a hard worker.
Tea festival ever happens, and he really like to collect money. So he's like I remember he always like turn around while I was like behind you guys and doing tea tastings with customers, and he would turn around. Shiuwen, I just charge people $40.
Yeah. We just gotta tell him before, like, what he's allowed to say about the tea and what he's not allowed to say, because I just have to keep telling people, this tea still has caffeine in it, just so you know. It is relaxing, but it's not really sleepy time tea before they, before they buy the tea. Everyone was really cool about it, but I just thought that was so great.
True. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
So this is actually my first time to brew this tea.
Oh, really? I thought you brewed it already when you got it the other day.
No, I just put it in a what is that? I just drank it in grandpa style twice.
Oh, okay.
So far.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just to get a feel. And now I just put dry leaves in a warm pot. Actually, for quite a while now because I was waiting for you. And it smelled fruity, but I couldn't identify what kind of fruit. And a little bit of that, I don't know how to say it though in English, 果酸的味道.
I mean, the literal translation would be fruit sourness.
But not because the fruit is sour, okay? Yeah, what is 果酸 exactly, even in Chinese? Sometimes when I hear a Chinese, I just like, oh yeah, yes. And then sometimes after a day or two, I was like, what does that exactly mean anyway?
Yeah. Yeah, this one is interesting. I was drinking it last night, and I had this really interesting feeling, like the tea was almost hiding from me.
Oh.
But at the same time, it wasn't hiding at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't really know how to put words onto it, but it was a great session.
Let's see if it show up that way today. I'll see how it's gonna show up. Well, but anyway, the dry leaves looks more loosened up this year, much more loosened up than our previous crop of Lala Shan Hong Shui.
Yeah, they didn't roll it nearly as tight this season.
Yeah. So normally when I receive a tea like this, like the finished leaves are so different from the previous crop. It take me a while to get a feel of how much dry leaves that I want to put in there. Because I normally eyeball my tea leaves, and when I get used to a tea, then I there's a kind of a comfortable amount that I put in, and then this year the tea shape is like pretty different. It feels different. The weight is different, and so it's just more loosened up. So like sometimes you ask yourself, do you put more or do you put less?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's also really fun to figure out tea this way. Try to put less and get a feel, and try to put more and to get a feel, and then rather than still using that measurement style. I mean, you can if you want to. That's also fine to use the measurement style. Okay, I just pour out my first infusion. Wow, the surface note. Once again, I still can't identify the fruit. If I really have to name a fruit, it's not like that pineapple that is like in a high mountain oolong or a baozhong tea. It's still like a pineapple, but the pineapple have been either overly ripe or treated. Like they cure the pineapple in a certain way. With almost a little bit sweetness, and yet the pineapple sourness is coming through behind the back too. This is first infusion though, and I don't think my leaves opening up yet.
These leaves take a while to open up. It's interesting. They don't open up very quickly, even though they're loose.
Loose, right? So I kind of get that feeling. I'm not sure because in the beginning you put it in my head or something. I kind of get your feeling of the tea is kind of hiding, and yet at the same time not.
It's not, yeah.
Because I think I can see the structure really well in the mouth, in the scent, in the body, and yet there's there is that feeling that is kind of coming out and yet not coming out.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's kind of sweet and savory at the same time. Very interesting.
Yeah, I was thinking last night when I was drinking it, I was mostly noticing the sweetness of the tea. And right now drinking it, I notice almost a note like stew.
Stew?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
More like a Sichuanese chicken and potato stew with a fermented bean paste, not like a American beef stew or something like that.
Oh, okay. Also, I feel like the finish is like dry.
It's really dry.
If you talk about wine, it's like dry finish, and this one has that too.
It's not dry feeling in the mouth. It just has a dry finish.
Yeah, very interesting. Cool. So feels so different from the what is that? Grandpa style. Do you know when this tea was lightly touched up by the teacher?
It was touched in, I think it was in August actually.
August? Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, October. It was touched in October.
October.
Yeah.
So this is so interesting because it tastes it does taste like some sort of fruit, but the fruit feel like it has been fermented.
Yeah.
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 And then
there's a real like fermentation or like a yeasty kind of note in there.
Yeah. And then at the same time it feels kind of like there's a little bit of like that salty. That's why I call it savory. Even though I couldn't identify that stew feeling.
Yeah.
So it's a very, well, I guess some of the fermented plum can be salty anyway.
True.
Like the Japanese stuff. Taiwanese stuff normally put it a little bit more on the sweet side, sweet and sour. But the Japanese plum is pretty salty and sour at the same time. But this have a little bit of sweetness and yet finish dry. Interesting. And I also like the salivation. I would say it's actually really different from the Lala Shan we have been carrying.
Yeah. I mean, that was 3 years ago. I just realized the last batch of Lala Shan was in 2017.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very different.
Very different.
Yeah. That one is like...
3 years ago? 4 years ago? Like 4 years ago.
Now it's my second infusion. Very interesting. The surface note. I am not even paying attention of what it smells like. What is really come out very like getting my attention is that quiet focus. Yeah. There is a quiet focus on the surface smell from this second infusion. So maybe I'm getting crazy. So I'm not sure if the tea is hiding or actually the second one. I was more feeling like, remember teacher tell us to watch the tea?
Yeah.
I have a feeling this tea is watching me.
Interesting.
More and more creepy.
Uh-huh.
Lala Shan Hong Shui is not supposed to be a creepy tea. Now I'm overly excited. Oh, the broth is really not dry. Like when you have a dry white wine kind of a feeling. But yet at the same time, it's like that dark fruit, fermented fruit taste. It's like the two of them normally don't come together when it comes to like white wine or red wine kind of a world. It's very soft liquid, but like it just seriously feel like a bottle of dry wine. And this one is even more feel like a white wine kind of a dryness because there's a lightness in this tea. Yeah. Wow. Fascinating. I should brew this tea every day then. This morning, I almost brewed this tea.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was just like, because it's kind of like overcast and when it's like bright and sunny, then the first part of tea, then I practice the Yunnan Tie Guan Yin from Mr. Zhan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then when it's a little bit like, when it's like raining and dark, then I brew the Sheng Miao charcoal full roast. I have been having a great time with that tea since last time you mentioned that do it heavy, just like them in the shop.
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay. Oh, yeah. I do it heavier and it's just like so freaking satisfying.
Yeah.
But anyway, this morning is like the weather is in between the two. It's not raining. It's kind of dark and overcast and it's not sunny. And so I was like, well, I need something a little bit rich, but not super heavy yet. So I was like, maybe the new Lala Shan. But in the beginning, I was already have an idea that I want to brew the furry crab. So I was like, this one, that one, this one, that one.
So you ended up with a furry crab.
Yeah, and I had a furry crab. And then
rock, paper, scissors.
The bouquet was really, really nice this morning. Yeah. And I used more leaves too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been using a lot more leaves to brew since I've been in Taiwan.
Yeah, I use more leaves. But I don't think it likes water that strong like the full roast. Don't think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you back off a little bit on the stream.
Yeah, on the stream because I wanted to lure higher on the note.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the tea can be pretty.
More gentle with it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then dongding doesn't have to be that way. But anyway, that's just a little bit of my morning tea brewing practice now. And so let's come back to this Lala Shan Hong Shui, which is extremely intriguing right now. It's like opposite stuff is happening. The body feeling is really nice though. Like there's a strong presence, and yet there is a quietness inside too. And it feels the body, but not crazy, like strong kind of feeling. It's a very interesting tea. And still at this moment, I was just like, am I watching you or are you watching me? I'll be right back.
Okay.
So infusion number 3. I actually just add some more dry leaves in there. I don't think I put enough in the beginning. It's really hard to engage since the leaf is like not rolled very tightly together.
Yeah, it's hard to tell how much to put in. I did the same thing the first time that I brewed this tea at home. I was like, I didn't actually change it. I just finished brewing it with a smaller amount of leaves, but then I realized I need to put more by volume. I have to put more. So I'm not getting that today. That feeling of it's hiding from me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Then what's the overall feeling you're getting?
It feels bigger today, bolder.
Oh, good.
It's actually still hard for me to talk about tea, to be completely honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't I don't feel very sure to talk about tea right now after the, not because of the lockdown, because of before with a teacher. After that week long of learning, it's pretty difficult. Difficult's not even the right word. For me to talk about tea feels like I'm not ready to talk about it yet, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like talking about the actual experience of drinking the tea. I can talk about the tea, like it looks really loose and the broth is orange looking, you know. And the flavor note really is like, it has that fermented kind of taste to it. And the broth is bigger and richer this morning. But to actually talk about the tea, like my experience of the tea, is feel like it's gotten a lot deeper in the last couple of weeks. But to talk about it is really hard, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, tea is very interesting, and right now we are in a podcast, so we do need to talk about
we
it.
We
I
need to
guess.
talk, yeah.
But sometimes the I remember some of the best moments that I have with tea is you know, people who are in a room with me and we took a sip of tea and then we put down the cup simultaneously and just look at each other. And I think that I knew that at the moment we were sharing something very special, like the experience and stuff. But regarding to not feels like weird to talk about tea, I think I feel you, especially, you know, when you know, deal with, when you hang out with the teacher for a week and every day is so profound, and the ways that Mr. John can talk about it is like, wow, you know. And then I'm not sure how you feel, that you feel that you cannot talk about tea right now. I think I probably will have the feeling of actually Tai Chi. That I feel I cannot teach people Tai Chi. Because I am not even close to the true depth of Tai Chi Chuan. And with tea also, you know, maybe I'm not sure if that's your feeling, that you feel like you can talk about the tea because it's just so deep.
Let me tell you what I'm experiencing.
Okay.
I've in the last couple of weeks drinking tea, it's become really meditative. Not that it wasn't meditative before, but become more meditative. And this concept of watching as a pure observer, the things that I'm seeing are the things themselves are almost indescribable. And I don't feel like I'm close enough to it yet to come up with an overall picture or something like that to really encapsulate it in a fair way. So I can talk about individual pieces like the flavor notes, sure, you know, that's easy enough. But you're just talking about a piece. Anything can taste like grapes, you know, anything can taste like cranberries or whatever, right? And nothing, there's anything wrong with talking about flavor notes. But I don't even know. It's kind of like it's a weird time for me, you know, right now. Kind of in a transition period. But it's great. It tastes really good. And I don't think that just because I don't know how to talk about it in a fair way doesn't mean that I don't know how to talk about tea on the podcast. You know what I mean? Just because I don't know how to express my exact experience with a tea doesn't mean that I can't talk about what's happening, you know?
Yeah. So I'm confused. Can you talk about it or not? Oh, sure. I just do all the talking. I'm sorry.
That's not what I'm asking you to do. I'm not asking you to do all the talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I just feel like at a loss for words when you ask me like, what am I tasting right now? Because I feel like I'm trying to watch it so deeply that when I come out of my meditation and try to say something, I just don't have words. I don't have words to describe what I'm feeling, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of, maybe.
I think I get it.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Like you said before, you are in a transition.
Yeah.
And it might take you a while to form words.
Yeah. Sure.
Right? Yeah. But
I'm having a good time drinking the tea. And it doesn't feel like it's hiding from me like it was yesterday. Not that it's even better that it's not hiding, you know. I think it was really interesting yesterday to watch it as it was hiding. And it's interesting to watch it today as it blooms a little bit more fully, you know. Just see the way that it changes is really interesting.
Yeah. Well, my third infusion with this Lala Shan Hong Shui, as I mentioned earlier, I put more dry leaves in there because I feel like I didn't put enough. And then this third infusion, I smell the surface note of the tea, and the tea just very obvious telling me, here I am here now. So I think it does require visually a little bit more volume of the leaf since it's so fluffy. You know, yeah. And when I didn't put enough, it just feel like something delicate and something is watching me from the other side. And now it's just like, no, I'm here with you. Go ahead. And the broth become really full, still like a dry wine, but since it's that full, I won't call it white wine anymore.
Okay.
It's like turning into red wine. Yeah. So that's really interesting. That change right away just because I dropped like maybe 5 more tea balls inside, or maybe more. I don't know.
Yeah, let me see how much leaf you have in your pot.
Sure, but the thing is, the second
haven't opened up yet, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me show you my guy one.
I would say after my fully open might be actually equal.
Probably about the same, huh?
The same, yeah. The thing is, with the previous Lala Shan Hong Shui, you put a little bit and you pop so much.
Yeah.
And
yeah, this one is it's really fluffy.
Yeah.
Because of the way that they rolled it. Yeah.
Yeah. And now maybe it's a good chance for me to sound a little bit like lecturing to people. It's, you know, once again, I can't repeat myself enough times. Really try to play with your tea. Smaller amount, the shape is different or whatever. Even though from the same farmer, this year somehow he decided to shape the tea differently. like really differently. And so in a way, we can use the same brewing method with any given teas at any time, especially when you just receive a tea, play with it, use different methods. Like what I did with this tea is I put it in a cup and just brew it like that. Like here in America, you guys call it grandpa style. Just try to get an overall feeling of the tea before I even brew it. And today is actually my first time to brew the tea. And I decided to put in a specific volume, and it was a very interesting feeling from the tea. And then something tell me that it's not enough leaves. And so by the third infusion, I drop more leaves in there. I put more dry leaves in there, and then the dynamic totally changed on the third infusion right now. So I'm very curious on the fourth infusion. See, it's fun. Tea brewing is fun.
I would like to add something to your play with your tea.
Oh, okay, cool.
Is never stop using your senses.
Yes. You can play because you feel something is right or is wrong. Remember also earlier I mentioned this morning I was brewing furry crepe and I used like different method to pour the water in because something told me that I want something extra show up, not bigger flavor. I want the scent to lure higher. Because I feel like that tea can do that. And other teas, I was not asking the scent to lure higher. I was asking the body to be more full, the sensation to be more full. Therefore, when I pour hot water in, is a different method. And so yes, use your senses. Really watch your tea, sense your tea, and see what they try to
tea is alive.
Yeah, to tell you.
Tea is alive. It's always changing.
Yeah.
And the moment you hit it with heat and water, it starts to change much faster. I mean, the moment they pick the leaf off the plant, it starts to change. And then they fix it, so it starts changing much more slowly. And then as it's aging, it changes more slowly. Then heat through roasting can change it at a faster speed. And then it can slow down again. And then when you hit it with hot water, it starts changing again, and it's never the same twice. Every time that you smell it, if you're I'm using a smelling cup right now. I think they're awesome. Every time I'm going in to smell it, it's different. So when you play with your tea, respond to your own experience of what you're noticing. Right?
Yeah. And me as a tea drinker, I actually really enjoy and embrace that. I enjoy, sometimes it can be frustrating. like they say I brew the same tea every single day for 2 weeks in a row. And every day the result is a little bit different. And when I get frustrated, it's because it didn't turn out too well to me. But I never get frustrated the tea is different every single day. My goal is never to make the same tea taste the same every day. My goal is to make it taste as best as it can get. I like the differences in the same tea, and it really engages it really engages our senses to detect all those things, to watch for the change, and to learn to perceive with our experiences what to do with them. And it become a really fun thing every single day to brew tea, to even brew the same tea. Because I know it's going to be different, but I want it to be so good. I'll be right back.
So I just drank, I'm not sure which infusion, maybe the fifth infusion. And I don't have anything crazy profound to say about it, but it's extremely soft and it's warm. And it feels like the warmth is on the outside of my skin. It feels like a kind of warmth that's from the outside. And And as I sit here with it, I can feel it moving on the outside. And the broth itself is extremely soft, and the way that it enters my body is extremely soft. And it feels flowing.
Flowing.
Yeah.
Cool. Because sometimes the heat is from inside, right? Some of the tea, the heat is from inside.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a Hong Shui like that. I forgot which one nowadays.
Do you remember? I remember the Tai Chi Hong Shui that we've talked about many times, but we never sold any of it.
I think I have.
Yeah.
I have 4 small bags.
Yeah, you have some. You have some at the house. That one feels to me like a kind of warmth that is like that
From
blooms
inside,
open
right?
from the inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember this Lala Shan, not this Lala Shan. I remember a previous batch of Lala Shan that we said it was like a sauna. Remember?
Sauna, yeah.
Remember the kind of heat that comes from the outside of the body?
Yeah.
This one, I don't know if I'd call it a sauna. It doesn't have that feeling to me, but it definitely has.
That kind of heat.
Not really, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it does
no,
feel like
no.
it's a kind of warmth that I feel on my skin rather than underneath my skin.
The 4th infusion, it's very clear on the surface broth. There's something about it. It's very clear. I'm not even talking about the smell. I'm talking about a feeling. Wow. Yeah, it's very clear. Yes, and the tea broth is really soft. And it enters the body. Yeah, like no resistance at all.
Yeah.
And still feels salty. Like somebody add the salt into my tea or something. It feels really good. This tea feels good. Yeah. And then there's a quietness there is a quietness, a quiet presence on this tea because of that clear feeling on the scent. It kind of complete the whole feeling as a very clear and quiet and a touch of warmth and soft kind of a tea. It's beautiful in a very different way from the previous Lala Shan Hong Shui. Yeah. If you guys like Hong Shui tea more on the sweeter side, I will say currently this Lala Shan Hong Shui doesn't taste that way at all. You guys can try out the Lala Shan Hong Shui on the floatingleaf.us site. I still have some of that in the shop. There will be a little bit more fruity and juicy kind of a taste on the Hong Shui side. This one is savory, is dry, is clean, and yet soft. Yeah, and it feels really good. And since the leaves is fluffy, please, when it's dry, use a little bit more than you thought. And it can be brewed, no problem. Brew it for a long time. Also, I think this tea will be able to do it. Let me soak the 5th infusion actually for quite a long time then, just to see how it's gonna do. This is so much fun. I'm going to brew this tomorrow morning.
It's a really fun tea.
Wow, I wonder how it's gonna show up tomorrow morning. Since today is kind of it is my first time to brew this tea. Yeah. Also, I'm doing it at home. The setting is different. Actually, a little bit uncomfortable for me. And tomorrow in the shop will be a little bit. It will be in the space that I'm more familiar with to brew tea. So I'm actually quite excited to brew this tea tomorrow. Wow, the aftertaste after it cools down, the broth cools down, and then I just take a small sip, and from the 4th infusion, and the aftertaste is like fermenting. Something is fermenting, kind of a taste and feeling. It's like fermenting in my mouth or something. I think my way of describing tea is kind of funny and also quite crazy. For sure, not very profound like the teacher.
I think it's profound in its own way. I like your way of describing tea. For me, this tea is all about that body feeling, kind of like drinking pu'er, you know? It's just so, it's so big in the body.
Yeah.
It's like,
true,
for me, drinking pu'er is kind of like it all tastes pretty much the same to me. I mean, there's small differences for sure. But pu'er doesn't like taste that amazing. It's the way that it moves and the way that it feels as it enters a body, and this one's kind of like that for me too. It's like it does taste. It tastes good.
It tastes good, but
it tastes
not
like a little bit fruity.
Not like the other Hong Shui is like big and sweet and juicy and fruity. It's
know what's it's a little bit similar to the first batch of Lala Shan Hong Shui that we got, actually. Do you remember that batch?
I don't have memory power anymore.
Okay, so there was one. You'll remember it if I describe it to you a little bit. So there was the very first Taiji Hong Shui that we got, and we were going to release it, and then we realized we couldn't get any more, so we held on to it because we're greedy. And then we were like, hey, teacher, do you have any more Lala Shan? And then they sent it to us, and it was like from 2014 or 15. So it was a little bit age tasting. Do you remember that one?
Yeah,
it had a kind of fermented fruit taste to it, and it was drier, and it wasn't as dark. And that way, the processing feels a little bit similar. It's not as dark. It doesn't feel as juicy and sweet, but it has that kind of fermented, yeasty kind of taste to it.
This one has that, and it's not old at all, right?
I don't believe so. No.
But it feels like it has some. That's why in the beginning
feels like it has some age to it, right?
Yeah. That's why in the beginning when I say the dry leaf smell have some 果酸, that fruits.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's that I was detecting. Yeah. Oh, okay. I brewed this tea for like 4 minutes now. Cool. The number 5 infusion. I know I brewed it that long because there's a recorder. There's a timer on it. Timing, not really timer. Yeah, there's that quietness in this tea. And the scent is very, very focused. It's crazy. I brew it long. The tea feels really good when it enters the body.
You can brew it for a long time, right? Just like with other Hong Shuis.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I seriously think this tea is all about the cleanness of the land that it's on, and the personality of the trees themselves. It's just really beautiful. So this is the feeling that I had yesterday. I didn't want to say it at first because it was kind of crazy sounding, but I'm high enough on tea now that I can say it. I felt like if you've ever gone out in the forest, let me say this a different way. I feel like when a person goes out in the forest and they think they see like a fairy or something, and then they go back home and they think, no, that couldn't have been. That was just like something else. It couldn't have really been a fairy. That feeling. That's what I mean by it was hiding from me, but it wasn't really.
Were you sure you were drinking tea?
Yeah.
Or you were dreaming?
That's what I mean by I was like kind of like not really sure I want to talk about my experiences right now because they seem kind of crazy. But that's what I felt last night. I was like, wow, it's just like you don't really trust yourself that you really saw a fairy, but you kind of maybe did. But then you go back home and you're like, no, I couldn't have.
I see. Wow, that was good. So
that's what I felt last night when I was drinking. I don't feel it so much today. It just feels really, nice and full in flavor, and then the body feeling feels really comfortable and soft and big. But yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, if I say this, I might sound crazy, but.
Well, the thing is yesterday you were doing it alone.
Yeah, I was doing it by myself, so I was able to be more quiet.
Yeah, and today, not just because we are doing it, you and me, two people. We are talking and we are actually currently looking at computers.
Yeah. And also talking to the people, You want to have something
yeah.
to say. I think that's one thing is when you want to have something to say, a lot of times you don't have anything to say. You know, it's like, oh crap, I need to come up with something to say. And then you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to say. Here you go. Listen to this. It's really good sounding. And then you're like, oh shit, it wasn't really as good as I thought it would be. But then you're by yourself and you're like, oh my God, that's amazing. But I don't really want to share it with anyone. It's kind of just for me.
Yeah.
You know
and
what I
that's
mean?
why, yeah, true. Like the choir practice to taste tea and to brew tea it's very different when like talking out loud, talking a lot, multiple people are together, you know, the feelings are very different and they are all good. They are all very good, I think, you know. Sometimes tea does show up more because of certain people are present.
Yeah,
you know?
totally. Totally.
Yeah. But like I think choir style of practice is also it can be as intense because it's quiet.
Yeah.
You know, the only time that when I'm brewing tea nowadays in the morning, the only time that is not quiet is my mind.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like my mind, my mind.
But
is
that's the hardest thing to
talking and
make
I
it
bring
quiet,
back.
right?
But it's just like the way of noticing is it's way more because the environment is quiet. Nobody is there with me, and I'm not talking to myself. Only my own head talking to myself, and therefore, you know, like there's some things that will show up actually more. Yeah. Including when I fail a tea, it show up way more than usual.
Interesting.
Yeah, you know, because everything become bigger because of the quietness.
Even the failure.
Yeah, it becomes so clear. You know, yeah. So, yeah, great session. I love today's session. How about you?
Yeah, I do too. People can't see when I smile. A lot of times I just smile quietly. It's like my trademark. You know, smile quietly.
You have a trademark?
It's my trademark. Quietly. I was going to say smiatly. Quietly smiling. Quietly.
Oh, you see, every day there's something new for me to learn about people I think I know a lot. No, I just had a trademark.
Yeah, that's my trademark. And then it doesn't translate very well to audio because it's just like it sounds like I'm just being silent. But yeah, this is I agree. I think this was a good session. Yeah.
And I'm very excited to brew this Lala Shan Hong Shui tomorrow morning again in a shop. I will write you a report.
Okay, sounds good.
Maybe. How it turns out. Cool. So before we leave the podcast, just maybe 1-2 announcement. One is we are putting together a High Mountain Oolong sampler set for people to drink with us on June 8th, I believe, in a live streaming session. And everybody just start now praying that the technology will be okay that day. And I think it will be actually, right? Both of us will be on.
Yeah, that's the plan.
The live streaming with people. So please join us because it will be so much fun for me to know you guys are out there drinking the same tea with me. That always makes me very, very excited and happy.
We've already had a lot of people buy the sampler, so that's great. And we're going to be selling it until midnight on Monday. So this podcast comes out in the morning on Monday, 6 a.m. Pacific time on Monday. That means that you have 12, 18 hours after the podcast comes out. So if you listen to this on Monday and you haven't bought it yet, you should go ahead and buy it because it's really cheap.
Yeah.
We're shipping is included and everything. So
yeah.
So
and
highly recommend you buy it.
4 samples. And don't be surprised. Most of your orders in America will be coming from me. So this will be the second announcement. Taipei is locking down right now due to some more COVID cases showing up in the community. And so we are not sure how much this is going to impact the postal service to deliver tea to you in time before June 8th. So we decided to make Shiuwen send out your samples to you. So most of your tea order from the America side will be in one package. Sometimes they do come in two separate packages because I don't have some of the teas from Taiwan on our Taiwanese side right now.
Yeah, so in that case, we'll split it up. Shiuwen will send out the sampler, but the main point is that Shiuwen's going to send out the samplers to people in the U.S. so that it gets there faster because we just don't know about shipping times right now, and we wanted to get there in time for the live session. Yeah. Usually it's supposed to be like 10 to 12 days for standard shipping, which is really good. But now that everything's locked down in Taipei, like there was we just don't know how fast things are going to happen right now. Yeah. So by the way, if you guys place an order with us, just have patience to wait. Okay, it doesn't only happen in Taiwan, even within United States itself. Sometimes when we send out tea from Seattle, it takes 2 weeks to reach to, I don't know, Boston. It takes 2 to 3 weeks. It's supposed to be like 3 days. 3 days. It took, one package took like 3 weeks by priority mail to go to Florida. Sometimes it just got stuck and in a transition or got lost in the not translation, in transition in this case. So it's gonna take longer time than usual, and bear with us. It's just the way it is nowadays, Yeah. But the tea's coming to you. The tea's coming to you. Yeah.
The tea is coming to you. So I'm very excited to send out a lot of orders and write you notes and all those good stuff.
Oh, and there's a new tea. There's a new tea on the site that I don't think was on here the last time we recorded. The milk and honey. We didn't talk about that last session, which is great. A milk and honey oolong is what I call it. And maybe we can drink that next session if it gets to you in time.
Are you going to send it to me?
Yeah, I'm going to send some to you with the next shipment, which is coming... I don't know when we're going to send it out. Maybe on Wednesday.
Oh, you're going to send me tea on Wednesday before I even order tea?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You need any. This is kind of like business stuff, but you know how I'm going to send you that
behind the doors.
Behind the scenes. You know how I'm going to send you that
behind the
Sijichun?
scenes. Oh, Sijichun. There's a Sijichun. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm going to send you Sijichun, and then I thought I might as well include the milk and honey along with. There was one, Da Hong Pao. Yeah, Da Hong Pao and milk and honey. Milk and honey is great, though. I've been drinking it in the morning.
Oh, cool.
It's a Dongding grown Jinshen. It's like, when I taste that tea, I'm like, I know why Jinshen used to be called, originally got the name milk oolong. Right? Because it's really milky. It's really milky. Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, cool. I totally want to taste that tea. Yeah. Excellent.
And it's the first tea that I roasted. Just so you know. I roasted that tea. I didn't make the decisions, but I did the lifting and the moving and the shaking and the bag packing.
He was like a robot in the tea roasting room. Teacher said, shake. He's like, okay.
I shake.
Shake.
Teacher said, yeah, whatever teacher said, I just did it. So, but I roasted the tea, so I felt pretty proud of it. And I also think it tastes really good. Not because of my roasting skill. It's going to be a while before I get there, but just exciting, It tastes really good too.
People just wait for it in the next 5 years. Every single oolong out of floating leaf tea is gonna be roasted.
I am thinking from now. I'm thinking 2 years.
2 years. Excuse me.
Maybe 3. Maybe 3 years would be more reasonable. But I'm shooting for 2.
Yeah. And so when you like your tea fragrant, make sure to buy it in the first 2 months when we get the tea, because
or else we're gonna roast it. Yeah,
it's going to be roasted.
Yeah, new paradigm shift for floating leaves tea. If you like fragrant oolong, just buy an entire 6 months worth as soon as it comes out, or else I'm gonna roast it. That's not a threat. That's not a threat. You should be excited about that because it's gonna taste even better. But
yeah. But don't worry. I will remind people again in 3 years.
Or you can buy pu'er, because I'm not going to roast the pu'er.
Cool.
But I'm probably going to roast the black tea.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I should take that sentence away. Like, not other teas being roasted besides oolong tea. I think Noah is gonna roast.
Yeah, I had a roasted Ruby 18 that was amazing.
Okay, you keep talking about that.
I
Maybe
know.
you should buy a half a pound for me to try.
I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to. I was just thinking that. I'm going to buy half a pound so you can taste it.
Okay, good. Sounds good. Because I want to know what Ruby 18 tastes like after it's roasted.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay, I think we are like falling into a complete different direction, behind the scene direction. So people, thank you so much. This session, I hope you enjoy it because I really enjoy it.
Also, this tea.
Oh my God.
Really high quality idea for you guys. This is straight from Noah.
What?
Straight from Noah, this idea. Drink this tea after you get home from work, like right after you get home from work. Drink a big pot of this tea, and then go lie down in your bed underneath the covers with the lights off. And then just relax for like half an hour. It feels really, really good.
Oh, okay, great.
You call it spa tea. Home spa.
Home spa. Oh, here you go. Home spa tea. That's great. Did you write it on the internet? Because I don't read your writing.
No, I didn't write that. When I write teas on the internet, I just kind of like write whatever my original idea was, and then I don't come back to it until the next tea comes in. I usually don't update them. But yeah, home spa tea. This is a great tea for that. I did that last night, and it was amazing.
Okay.
I listened to a deep relaxation guided meditation, and just like had the tea going through my body. I was just like, whoa, this feels really good.
I should do that then. Brew it in the morning as a practice.
You really should.
And then I should do it in the evening and then just lay down there. So people buy it while you can, because this is one of the teas that we sell half of it and we drink half of it.
Yeah. Or more than half sometimes.
Yeah, because if we do it, each of us do it twice a day. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, because we're drinking separately now. It's true, we drink twice as much. We could probably drink 1 gin a month.
Oh, easily.
Each one of us.
Yeah, each one of us. So, yeah, there's not a lot of gins out there. So.
Yeah, only about 10 gins of this tea. We're going to drink it all. Sorry.
You guys buy some while you can. And when I notice
we need it right now. We need it right now. International shipping is a pain in the butt for you guys, but it's really a pain in the butt for us. We need to relax.
And when I notice that there's something I really like about this tea, I take it off from my website, just like my Tai Chi Hong Shui. Sorry, guys.
Well, that was because you only had like 2 gin or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at the time. Remember, we actually sold, I think we sold an entire gin, and then we were like, oh crap, we couldn't get any more than 2 gin, and then we're like, hey, can you sell this back to us? Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this one we had 10 gin, so it's safe. We're not going to take, we'll be drinking it, but
Okay.
But you guys should still buy it when you can, because we might drink it all really fast.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Anyway, this is really going a long time. We should close it out.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, people, and
thank you for joining us.
And we look forward to the next podcast and to the June 8th live streaming, whatever that is,
High Mountain
to drink
tasting.
tea with you, all the 4 High Mountain oolongs that we currently carry. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Stay safe and stay happy and peaceful and happy again.
Bye-bye.
See you next Monday. Bye-bye.